It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. With me, oh you know him, Shaquille O'Neal. You know this guy too, Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, it'll be the Sacramento Kings up against the Grizzlies out in Memphis. And for Memphis, 5-5 over their last 10 games, but they're not satisfied with 500 ball. Looking to tack one onto the win tally tonight. And tonight, we'll watch De'Aaron Fox, tremendous speed and quickness, even when compared to other point guards, Shaq.
You know, the point guard position in the NBA is stronger than it's ever been. Irons sharpens irons, so I think it'll be special.
Yes, he's speed, and speed does kill. He's a competitor on both ends of the floor. I love this guy.
And with the game just about ready to begin, time to send it to Kevin Harlan with the call.
It's a Western Conference game on display featuring the Sacramento Kings. 2K Sports brings you Friday night NBA action. Joined in the booth with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry, this is Kevin Harlan. Our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. You look at Memphis. Well, it's been an improvement this year over last season. They made a lot of adjustments, and happy to see that they translate into some tangible results.
And guys, when you look at Memphis, they look ready to make all their fans forget about last season's horrible showing. They've already picked up some impressive victories.
Brent, you played for 14 seasons. What kind of off-season training did you do personally to keep in shape?
I had a great trainer in Southern California that I would go home to every year and work on different things. It was funny, Kevin, because as you get a little bit older, you can be a little more specific with how you train. You understand how you're going to be used, the type of minutes you're going to play, so it can be a little bit more specialized. I'm not sure if I could tell you this, but I surfed a lot in the off season.
Balance.
Core, right?
Core balance.
All right, Thank you. Check box.
All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. On the court right now for the Kings. Down low, it's Bagley and Cauley-Stein. Fox is at the point with Hield next to him at the 2. And it's Jackson in at the 3. Hield outside. Pass to Fox. Cauley-Stein kicks to Hield. Clock at 6. The shot by Cauley-Stein, no good.
And forcing the miss there, he just knows how to pressure you defensively.
You hear a lot about rim protection. This is a good example of how valuable it can be.
Here's Temple. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game. Anderson dishes to Temple. Over Hield. That one off the back iron and out.
And the defense is just not very aggressive. Definitely fortunate that the mid-range jumper did not find the bottom of the net that time.
Jackson kicks to Hield. Jackson passes to Hield. Sacramento moving it around. On the wing, Hield. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
A little tease there from Buddy Hield, showing his explosiveness. Undersized, but able to convert inside.
Conley, the pass to Rab. Passes it to Temple. Now Conley. Here's Rab, covered by Hield. The fadeaway, and that one drops.
Yeah, and Conley just makes the game fun. Able to shoot, but focused on also facilitating for teammates.
Fox kicks to Cauley-Stein. Now here's Hield. Defense right on him. Cauley-Stein finds Hield. And there's the call on Garrett Temple. That's his first foul. And a little over 2.5 minutes gone here in the first. Healed outside. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. Heald's got his second basket of the night. Conley, the pass to Anderson. Just 5 on the clock. From 13, and the jumper is good. Anderson's got his first bucket of the night.
More and more development on the offensive end, and now in a new system. Anderson capable in the mid-range, and like to see him knock those down.
Now here's Cauley Stein. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. Great positioning on the putback.
Yeah, he plays with a bit of a sixth sense around the offensive glass. Perfect position for the easy tip-in.
Here's Temple after the basket by Willie Cauley Stein. And Temple kicks to Anderson. Fades away. Misses off the right iron. For Sacramento, they've gone 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip. There's the pass to Hield. Here's Bagley. Cauley Stein trying to free himself up. Conley with a wide open look. Memphis the rebound. Pass to Temple. Knocked loose. Sweet little floater.
That floater is a thing of beauty, effective when it's used the right way.
The Kings shooting to start out this game about 43%. Jackson finds Cauley Stein. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Willie Cauley Stein, the 6th overall pick back in 2015. Brent, how do you evaluate his progress as an NBA player?
Well, I think it's been a tough situation in Sacramento with so much changeover in personnel, a coaching change as well. And he's still pretty raw offensively. He was drafted out of Kentucky as a defensive player, and that's so far where mostly his impact has been felt.
Shooting 2.
No good on the free throw. Well, Greg, and Willie Cauley Stein, a live wire 7-footer.
I mean, he's got great foot speed for his size. I just like to see him really become more aggressive offensively and try to improve that skill set. But his mobility is so desirable in today's game.
And no good on the second free throw, so he goes 0 for 2 there.
The one thing about Willie Cauley Stein is you don't really use the word length with him. You talk about his mobility and just how athletic as a big he can be. That activity can be disruptive to any team they're playing against.
Now here's Anderson. 11 points last game. Green. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
First team foul.
And he's got his first free throw of the game.
And of course, we'd all like to see his percentage at the line improve, but he just does not have the touch right now. He's in the 60s.
And that drops, so they now lead by 1.
The Kings entering their second full campaign here without DeMarcus Cousins. Did they get equal value in that trade that they made? Probably not, but they have the flexibility, and they've added to this roster with some young talent and see if they can make some combinations here work to escape the mediocrity that they're in.
So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2. And the Kings talked about a culture change as they parted ways with Cousins. Brent, do you see it that way?
Well, DeMarcus Cousins was learning and growing. And the interesting thing you go back to is his relationship with Denver Nuggets coach now, Mike Malone. It seemed like they were on a good path, and then a lot of other things happened around this basketball team. So just trying to clear the air, trying to make things fresh and new. They have the new arena. I think that's helping them along.
Take a break.
But now it's incumbent on the front office to deliver with this clean slate they have in front of them.
That free throw missing.
And the game Bagley has reminds me a little bit of Chris Bosh, a sweet lefty who plays with force and passion.
Caspi, he's checked in for Memphis. And the second free throw, good.
You know, when Marvin Bagley entered the league, there were some questions as to which position would he play, but the versatility he brings is special. He can guard a number of positions, score inside and out, and he is a tremendous rebounder.
Well, he's like a carpenter out there, great floor awareness, zipping the ball over to his teammates with ease.
Here's Temple, covered by Heel. Pass to Anderson. Conley feeling it out. Passes it to Rab. Out to Conley. That three off the mark. And one thing you can't question about Bagley, Greg, his intensity level.
As competitive as they come, he's ferocious around the rim. Oftentimes, he looks like he wants it more than anybody else on the floor.
Here's Conley. After the basket by De'Aaron Fox. Anderson passes to Rab. Here is Caspi, guarded by Jackson. And Caspi kicks to Temple. Clock at 4. Over Fox. Fresh 24 for Memphis. Here's Temple, guarded by Fox. Temple, the pass to Rab. Can't connect from 14 feet out. And so it's Jackson who brings it up for Sacramento. Their last game, a win against San Antonio, looking to carry that into this one.
You're going to win a lot of games when you can shoot the three ball the way they did in that one.
Well, you see the snowball effect here when they start knocking down those shots, and once guys get it rolling, it's just impossible for the defense to contain that kind of firepower.
Let's send it out to David Aldridge, who caught up with head coach Dave Yeager. David?
Thanks, Kevin. Well, for two teams that have had similar success this season, Coach still feels they have the upper hand going in. He told me we've been improving in some areas that don't necessarily show up statistically, but should start to show up in terms of how much we're able to control the action. We'll see if we can notice the difference tonight, Kevin. Back to you.
All right, Doris, thanks. So it really could come down to the coaching matchup.
You know, in terms of talent, these teams really are evenly matched, and that could really force it to boil down to which decisions are made by the coaching staffs.
And the first one drops. Brent, the league is shaking things up as far as training and evaluation of referees. Do you think it'll result in getting a higher percentage of calls correct? They're pretty good as it is now.
The referees are fantastic.
They are.
And the fact that we're even having a discussion about a higher percentage of correct calls, Kevin,
Thank you.
I would just like to have a higher percentage of correct calls for the rest of this game with you.
Well, good. This guy next to me handed me this card. It wasn't my idea. It was this guy over here.
Yeah, well,
he said, ask Brent about the refereeing.
We need the stats, guys.
Yeah. Oh, we do. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Now, here's Kufis. Healed, kicks to Randolph. Here's Temple, covered by Heel. Temple gets the bucket.
I love the advantage he has from a speed standpoint. Does a great job of creating separation for that shot.
Fox with it. He picked up 18 points in their last win against San Antonio.
And guys, the other thing that he did well was just facilitate the offense, pass the ball around beautifully in that one. Seriously, put on a passing clinic.
Now here's Brooks after the miss from Buddy Hield. Harrison scanning the floor. They get a hand on it. Stolen by Randolph. Now, here's Fox. He's guarded closely. It's good for his second make. He's made 2 of 3 so far.
Well, trying to figure out ways to score through contact, De'Aaron Fox does not back down.
Brooks, the pass to Rab, and it's Bjelica with the foul. That's his first foul. Selden's checked in for Garrett Temple.
third team foul. Substitution for the Grizzlies. Wayne Selden.
Here's Brooks. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Here's Harrison. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good.
Got to give a ton of credit to the screener there. That was a perfect pick to give his teammate the space to knock down the shot.
Outside, Randolph. To the paint. Stolen. One-on-one fast break. Here's Selden. Covered by Heel. With a step back. Keeps it alive. It's good on the putback.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Fox kicks to Hield. Shot clock at 5. The Kings need to get off a shot here. Shot on the wing. Nice shot by Randolph. Randolph's got his first 2 points.
That's a staple of Randolph's game there, stepping out a little bit more as his career has gone on, but a good mid-range shooter.
Rob. Now here's Fox. Guarded closely. Good on the bucket. Now just a 2-point Grizzly lead. Memphis has gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. Back to Caspi. Got a piece of it. And stolen by Kufis. The pass to Fox. Over Harrison. Second shot opportunity. Can't capitalize inside.
I know it's physically impossible, but he's got to be kicking himself. He knows he's got to make those.
Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher. Now, here's Randolph. He's averaging a bit over 5 points a game. Back to Fox. Clock at 4. And Zach Randolph, the bucket on the assist by Fox. Randolph's got his second basket of the night.
Yeah, the fundamentals Zach showed there were terrific. Good at using his body there in the pick and roll.
Caspi finds Brooks. And the Grizzlies tack on 2 more. 1:03 left to play here in the first. Left side, Randolph. And Belyitza has it in the corner. No good from outside. Memphis leading by 4. Pass to Harrison. Back to Selden. Hits it from three-point range. Selden's got 5.
You could see some miscommunication on the defensive end of the floor that time. No excuse for letting a player get that good a look on that possession.
Here's Belyitza. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Now, here's Fox. Over Brooks. A rebound by Rab. Brooks, left side. To the middle. Caspi passes to Harrison. Selden.
Fox is so good on the offensive end with his quickness. Why not use it on the defensive end? He did there.
And we reached the end of the first quarter. Grizzlies lead by 7. And the second quarter will be on the way when we come back. Mike Conley, one of the best players never to play in an All-Star game, and he says he's tired of the underrated label.
The underrated Mike Conley thing has been out the window for me for a while, and it's gotten a little frustrating because I felt like I've been deserving of it over the years, but it's so hard to crack that spot in the Western Conference, and I'm going to keep working, and hopefully this will be the year.
And as he said, in the West, so many great guards.
And he's been a part of some winning teams, certainly has been in the conversation. He'll just have to be content with that max contract.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And looking at what we've seen from the Grizzlies, what do you guys think?
I tell you what, that first quarter, you can see the game plan is a commitment to offensive rebounding.
Well, their efforts have been rewarded here after one. Winning the battle over second chance points has them ahead on the scoreboard.
On the court for the Kings as the second quarter gets underway. Fox is at the point with Hield next to him at the 2. Labissiere out there with Bielitsa. And it's Koufos in at the 5 down low. It's stolen by Hield. It's Bielitsa, and count it from 19 feet away.
Well, I have no idea how he made that, but hey, sometimes a little bit of luck helps. Well, Buddy Hield, not the biggest or most athletic player that's on the floor, but his work ethic is undeniable. He is a total gym rat. At Oklahoma, they had to lock up the balls. Otherwise, the guy would stay there all day long and all night.
Now, here's Fox. And the rebound goes to the Grizzlies. This game coming after a loss against the Bucks.
And you know what? They were giving away points, missing at the line, a big factor in the outcome.
I'm just wondering if this home crowd and the energy worked against them in this one. They might have gotten in their heads just a little bit. And I think what I'd like to see from him in this quarter is getting going from the perimeter. Hit a 3 in the first, nothing in the second.
Inside, here's Brooks. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that, Brooks has got the lead up to 9 now for Memphis. And here is Fox. 6 points for him. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Koufos inside, guarded by Green. He muscles it in through the contact, and they call the foul. And he's on his way to the free throw line.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Sacramento shooting their 5th attempt at the line in the game. And the Grizzlies with some changes. Anderson comes in for Caspi, and it's Mike Conley in for Harrison. Then for the Kings, Bagley comes in for Bielitsa, and it's Justin Jackson in for Buddy Hield. And the free throw, no good. For a long time, the answer always seemed to be LeBron James. But it seems fair to ask now, who is the best single player in the NBA, in your opinion?
LeBron James.
Me too.
Didn't you just say his name?
I thought
it was
I
on
did.
my frontal
I was
lobe
thinking
here.
it, and I guess it came out.
We have so many great superstars, but after last year, his 15th season, LeBron James performing the way that he did, carrying his team back to the finals, there's just no doubt amongst peers, and we get a chance to watch him, Kevin. LeBron James is still the man in the NBA.
Ditto. Here's Conley. Sacramento making their last shot. Green kicks to Brooks. Pass to Selden. Five to shoot. Shot from free throw range. Wow, way off on that one.
And lots of credit for the team around him. They're picking up the slack here tonight. He just can't buy a bucket right now.
Fox against Green. Fox, no good.
It's just been an off night for him. That doesn't happen all that often, but the thing that you do at this point is not to push it, not to rush it. Let it come back to you.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. Now here's Jackson. 14 points from him the last game against San Antonio.
Defensive mindset tonight was huge. He was a real pest coming up with all those steals and had great activity. Yeah, that's pretty much a perfect pass, and that's also alliteration.
Anderson passes to Selden. Outside Conley. Takes a three. And it's Sacramento with the rebound. Their last encounter was in Sacramento.
Yeah, and they got beat last time these two teams met, and really free throws were the story.
He just can't find the bottom of the net right now. He's looking frustrated. This quarter has been a bit of a nightmare for him.
Now here is Conley, following the missed shot by De'Aaron Fox. Selden kicks to Green. Here's Selden. He has 7. And that's basket number 4. He's taken 9 shots to this point. The Kings trail by 7. Now Fox passes it to Bagley. Back to Fox. Here's Labissiere. No good off the back of the rim. For Memphis, they've gotten a little under 50% of their second quarter shots to find the mark. 4 of 9 all told. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
And you got to love just how smart of a point guard Mike Conley is. You never get the sense he is forcing anything with the ball and keeps it moving around to his teammates. Very aware of his spacing and the spacing of others while running that offense.
First one falls for him. And Conley, who is so good with space and timing on offense, seems to always find a way to score inside.
I mean, he has that great floater to lean on for scoring. And the only thing you want from Conley is health. Has had a few too many injuries to ignore the last few seasons. This team is so visibly better when he is healthy and on the floor.
And Conley drops them both.
Yeah, former 4th overall draft pick. Conley took a while to develop physically, but the mental parts have always been there.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Bagley the pass to Labissiere. Kicks it to Bagley. Conley against Fox. Sacramento moving it around. A 3-ball. Again, the miss by the Kings.
Yeah, just a solid job on the backboard. They are really controlling the inside.
Yeah, another missed opportunity, and you can just see the frustration.
Yeah, when your shot's in the fridge like this, it's easy to lose your confidence, and that's why some of the most prolific scorers, they have short-term memories.
Now here's Anderson, following the missed shot by De'Aaron Fox. Brooks finds Green, back to Brooks. There's the basket and make it a double-digit lead. Brooks has got 6.
Absolutely fearless. I mean, a nice subtle adjustment there going up against Wentz.
Yeah, this is the feel of a player to use his body to keep the shot from being blocked. Excellent work there.
Timeout is called, first of the game for Sacramento. And Dylan Brooks, the former Pac-12 Player of the Year. Greg with a great start to his career.
Yeah, I was shocked that Brooks ended up going 45th overall in that 2017 draft. He just plays within himself, but still is aggressive in terms of looking for his shot. It looks like he'll be a strong scoring option for the team as he continues to develop.
Sacramento making a switch here. Randolph is checked in. The shot from 20 feet away. That shot, no good. And Memphis the other way now. At the conclusion of this game, they're off to Minnesota where they'll take on the Timberwolves. That will be a getaway game for them, a 1-game road trip. Outside Jackson. Back to Fox. He kicks it to Bagley. Back to Fox. They could use a bucket. And we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there.
You two players. That's a jump ball.
Sacramento with the ball. Jackson kicks to Fox. Down low, here's Randolph. Good, and a nice assist from Fox. Randolph's got it back down to within single digits for the Kings. And it's Conley with the ball for the Grizzlies. Anderson outside. Here's Temple, guarded by Jackson. Stolen by Jackson. And up the court come the Kings on the break. And Jackson throws it down hard.
Savvy veteran skills there from Zach Randolph. Has a good sense of when his teammates can get off those clean looks.
And De'Aaron Fox gets the whistle that time. That'll be his second foul of the game. Rab's checked in for Memphis.
Checking in for your Grizzlies. Rab.
Here's Rab. Conley against Fox. Fox with the steal. And now the Kings, fast break, goes up. Grizzlies with the rebound. Brooks has got his 4th rebound in this one. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, the Kings signed some quality vets last season, but when the losses piled up, they decided to go young. Now, the focus is on development. The veterans still have a role, providing steadying presence on the court and in the locker room. Kevin?
David, it certainly is a balancing act. Thanks for that report. Jackson with it. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game, and he gets the bucket.
And maybe a little disengaged in the first quarter. Ball didn't come his way. He's really provided some scoring in the second quarter of action.
Now here's Brooks. 7-point differential. Over Bagley. And an air ball on that one. Way off. Sacramento's got nothing but zeros from long range in the second quarter. 0 of 4. The pass to Randolph. 6 to shoot. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket
Shot's
anyway,
good.
So a 3-point play chance for him.
Shot's good. And how about the strength on display there? Even when you whack Bagley, he's outstanding at fighting through it.
This is his 3rd free throw attempt of the game. Some changes for Memphis. Caspi, he's checked in for Kyle Anderson. And Andrew Harrison subbed in for Brooks. Bielitsa, he checks in for Sacramento. Hield comes in for De'Aaron Fox. And that one misses. Memphis leading by 5. Here's Harrison. Pass to Conley. Here's Caspi. Doesn't go that time. And the Kings going the other way now. Inside, it's Bielitsa. Pass to Bagley. Kicks to Hield. Over Caspi. And once again off the mark by Sacramento. Here's Temple. 6 points for him. To the inside. No good from Caspi.
And you got to give him credit there. Great effort to contest that shot.
Well, I love the fact that they put the security system on their house, protecting the paint there.
And at this stage, this is where Bagley feels most comfortable. Knows he has the size and touch to score inside.
Here's Rab. Back to Conley. We've got 1:28 left to play in the first half. Lets the 3 fly. And it's Sacramento with the rebound. Jackson's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
And he's trying to shoot his way out of it. They have the lead, but honestly, I think it might help if he'd be a little bit more selective tonight.
And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. And now we'll look at the upcoming schedule for Sacramento. On Saturday, they'll be taking on Clint Capella and the Houston Rockets. Then on Monday, they'll go up against Russell Westbrook and the Oklahoma City Thunder.
And, nobody loves playing on the road, but it does offer a good chance to see exactly what your team is made of. This team is going to find out a lot about itself over the next stretch of games.
First free throw is good.
And it took them a while to find their touch at the line, but they have been red hot here in the second quarter.
And he makes both free throws.
And doing a good job from the line here in the second quarter.
The Kings trail by 5. Hield kicks to Randolph. Sacramento moving it around. And it's Bagley that time on the assist by Jackson. Jackson's got 4 assists now tonight. And it's Conley with the ball for the Memphis Grizzlies. They've led by as many as 11 points. Temple, the pass to Caspi. Count it, good. Caspi's got 6. There's 42 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Hield left side. Jackson has the open look. From outside, off the mark. Jackson against Conley. To the middle. Marvelous lead pass, and he throws it down.
He's known as more steady than flashy, but that was a sensational pass by Conley. He can get fancy when he needs to.
Hield against Conley. Hield outside. Here's Randolph. The shot, no good. Gets it off. The shot, no good. And so it's Memphis, bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Coach Dave Yeager. Coach, what is going to be the focus offensively going into the second half?
Well, we try to go inside. That's our strength anyways. And for us, our bread is buttered inside, so we try to play high-low. And then if the threes come out of that, great, but we want to try to get everything to the rim.
Coach, it all starts with that entry pass to the big, and then everybody plays off of him. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to 2K Sports, the halftime show. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Boy, we have a lot to discuss. It's Memphis out in front at the half. They've got the 7-point lead. And Shaq, let's get your input on the Grizzlies.
You know what, Ernie? I got to stand up on this one. I salute to their bench. Man, once the starters came out, man, the others just came to life. You got to love seeing that kind of contribution come from the others. Man, they look beautiful tonight.
And over to Kenny now. Your take on the Kings.
They need to break it down. And I look at the individual areas that they're struggling, like they're getting pounded. I mean pounded, Ernie, on the boards. That's a hustle stat.
And that'll do it for our halftime report. Stay tuned for the second half. About to get underway.
Welcome back, folks. Pleased to have you with us tonight again here at the FedEx Forum in downtown Memphis, Tennessee. And happy you could join us. We've got 2 quarters left to go in regulation. And the Grizzlies leading by 7. Rab is out there with Green. Then it's Conley. Then there's Kyle Anderson. And it's Temple in at the shooting guard. That's the lineup out there for the Grizzlies.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. Outside Jackson. Pass to Hield. To the wing on the left. Bagley kicks to Fox. 5 on the clock. Pulls up on the wing. Great D that time from Green.
And hard work on the glass. Once again, guys, they put a lot of effort and focus on the backboard.
And the pass to Conley. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
And a chance here to look at the numbers for Bagley. Averaging 13 points per game, almost 2.5 steals and 6 rebounds. And he's really been pulling his weight. He's had a hand in some big plays here recently.
I think you look across the board right now, and he's just doing a much better job. The numbers bear that out.
The first free throw is good. And Conley drops them both. Second half rolling along now. About a minute played here. Down low. Bagley with the ball. He's against Green. Bagley, no good. And De'Aaron Fox gets the whistle that time. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far.
Second team foul.
Conley against Fox. Green, the pass to Rab. Top of the key, Conley. The shot from the low post is good. Conley's got 8. Dave Yeager in his 3rd season with the Kings. Before that, 9 seasons, Brent, in Memphis, with 3 of those being the Grizzlies head coach.
Yeah, an interesting end to his time in Memphis as things just kind of went awry between him and management. But the personnel decisions is what it came down to. And he has a fresh start in Sacramento with a very young, very energetic team that needs some direction. Maybe Dave Yeager, the guy to get the job done.
And Anderson gets it to go.
And that monster lead continues to grow. They are just piling it on now.
Now, that's the attack mindset with which they entered the game with, and I wouldn't expect them to let up now.
Sacramento again missing.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
There's the dish to Green. Conley kicks to Temple. Some nice passing there by Memphis. And Conley gets it to go. The assist by Green. And that's 11 points for Conley.
I'm not sure what the coach said at halftime, but whatever it did, it's lit a fire. They're now 4 of 4 from the field to start their offense here in the second half.
Timeout called by the Kings.
And they've let things get out of hand. Good time to reconvene.
They're just on the wrong end right now of a big run, and they need to plan how they're going to shift the momentum of the game.
And Memphis making a change here. Selden's checked in. Well, we're into the 3rd quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. A floater, count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
Well, they missed their first 3 shots, and after that maybe they'll get some air underneath their wings a little bit.
The question mark for De'Aaron Fox coming into the league was his jump shot, Brent, and his lone season at Kentucky, 21% from the 3-point line. That climbed over 30% as a pro.
Well, hopefully he just has progression as a shooter in the league, and that'll be a major impact on just how far De'Aaron Fox's career goes, and if maybe one time in the Western Conference he'll participate in the All-Star game.
Here's Conley. 11 points in the game. Pass to Rab. Back to Conley. Pass to Rab. Bagley with the rebound. Bagley's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
But only the first miss of the second half. They've come out here with authority.
Here's Selden, covered by Heel. And the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring. And this one couldn't have been any easier.
Well, on the defensive end, this is a joke. The lack of awareness is exactly why this team is so far behind.
The Grizzlies have gone 9 of 10 from the line, so making the most of their chances.
And I think this is a strength of this team.
Mind the
Solid
lanes.
numbers
Mind the lanes.
at the line across the
One
board,
shot.
77% collectively.
Labissiere's checked in for Bagley. And the free throw, no good. The Kings trail by 17. Here's Jackson, and they cash in right away with the quick shot. Jackson's got 8 points.
Just feel like Willie Cauley-Stein getting more comfortable the more time he's gotten in his young career and showing signs of being a passer.
Rab, the pass to Anderson. Here's Rab. Here's Selden. Cauley-Stein defending. Just 5 to shoot. Memphis needs to get off a shot here, and Green gets it to go.
Now working the angles there, geometry class in session. Nice dish for the open look.
The Kings have gone 2 of 6 from the field here in the third. To the paint, here's Cauley-Stein, and Cauley-Stein throws it down.
I just think he was completely focused there of making his way through contact to score the ball.
So far in the game, he's 0 of 2 at the line. Brooks checked in for Rab.
One shot, mind the lanes.
And that one falls for Cauley-Stein. And so Conley will bring the ball up for the Grizzlies. They led by as many as 18 points. Passes it to Selden. He feeds it to Anderson. Outside Conley. Shot clock at 6. The 3. Knocks down the 3 ball. Conley's got 10 points now just in this quarter.
This guy is just shredding the defense right now. He's hitting any shots he's putting up.
Fox kicks to Jackson. Healed outside. Outside for Jackson. Sacramento again missing. And the Grizzlies leading by 17. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. And we'll examine here how the distribution has been between 3-pointers and 2-pointers tonight for Sacramento.
And really, the long ball hadn't been a big factor for him. Not a lot of attempts, not a lot of makes either. Nothing wrong, though, with probing inside on days when the shots aren't falling.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First free throw is good. Kufis checked in for the Kings. And both free throws good for Brooks. One team owner proposed that we should abolish the draft and have free agency for rookies, maybe giving lesser teams a bigger pool of money to spend. Just some of the ideas that these teams are in the league is throwing out there.
Well, that's an interesting idea. The one that I heard about last summer was in Houston trying to flip-flop free agency and the draft so that all of a sudden what you can do is draft players after it is that you've made all your free agent acquisitions, so you could draft positionally, you know you're set up for your team next year. And the more I've thought about that, Kevin, coming into the season, the more I like it. So we'll see what kind of traction that gets.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Hey, guys. Well, Marc Gasol is the more fiery of the Gasol brothers. Pau Gasol says, I sugarcoat things a little more than Marc. He's more emotional, more direct.
Time out.
And Marc said, when a mistake happens on defense, I know you're not concentrating. I don't allow that. He knows controlling his frustration is important. He says, I'm working on it. Guys?
Art of leadership, DA. Thank you. Caspi, he's checked in for Memphis. Andrew Harrison comes in for Michael Conley. Bielitsa, he checks in for the Kings. The Kings trail by 17. Fox kicks to Kufis. They kick out to Heel. Over Caspi. Will not go. This is off the front iron. To the wing right side. Here's Selden. And another basket for Memphis.
The defense looking at him like a Rubik's Cube. They cannot figure him out. He continues to light him up from the field. More importantly, they're winning.
Now here's Heald. He seems to always find a way to rack up points, currently averaging 24 points a game. A nice shot by Kufis.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash-mouth physical basketball, guys.
Here is Caspi. 8 points for him. Here's Selden. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. Selden's got 8 here in the quarter.
If you're going in amongst the trees, you have got to be aggressive.
Well, he's also crafty with how he approaches it. Right there, he uses just the right move to lay it in.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Andrew Harrison. That is his first foul of the game. The Kings making a switch here. Randolph is checked in. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Andrew Harrison. That's foul number 2 for him.
And the next one puts him in the bonus.
Heald kicks to Kufis. Some nice ball movement here by the Kings. Fox, no good. And the Grizzlies leading by 19. Brooks, the pass to Harrison. And he gets the bucket. Harrison's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
The pass to Bielitsa. And here is Heald. Makes it off the glass. Heald's got 6.
Well, he's a little bit more than just an outside shooter. Buddy Hield finding himself, that time maneuvers inside to get good position.
And the wide open shot from Green. And the 3 off target.
Well, the defense better look up and say thanks. Leaving guys that wide open is not a recipe for success.
Heald with the bucket.
And it's coming easy for them right now. 5 baskets in a row in the paint.
Harrison kicks to Green. Poked loose. Fox with the steal. To the paint. Here's Kufis. And he throws it down hard with one hand.
More and more improved floor awareness for De'Aaron Fox.
And the Grizzlies leading by 15. Pass to Caspi. Over Randolph. And again, Memphis no good.
And being that close to the hoop, I thought he had enough room to finish that one.
Another shot. And Fox gets it to go. He's got 15.
That's nice mechanics there on the jump shot. Something we like to see on a nightly basis from De'Aaron Fox.
Sacramento foul. His first personal foul. 5th team foul. Shooting for Memphis. Aubrey Caspi. 2 shots.
Oh, take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The free throw drops for Caspi. Garrett Temple has checked in for the Grizzlies. And he can't hit the second. And it's Randolph with the ball for Sacramento. They trail by 14.
Zach Randolph, a paragon of consistency over his career. In his prime, a nightly 20 and 10 guy, and still producing.
And it's good, 2 points. Caspy's got 11 points.
Hard to imagine them losing this game if they can keep shooting like that.
Timeout called by the Kings. And the Memphis Grizzlies retiring Randolph's number 50 going into last season.
And helped forge an identity for that team and really made them relevant. I mean, he's played on a handful of teams, but I think Memphis was that match made in heaven.
The Grizzlies making a switch here. Rabs checked in. Now, here's Fox. Defense is right there. Healed outside. 5 on the clock. Fires from deep. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over.
And a moment here to look at some of the stats for Hield. Averaging about 24 points, 3 assists, and 4 rebounds. And he's a threat to go off in any game from anywhere.
I love it when guys tap back into that gift. All these guys at some point were that kind of player in their career. Fun to see it show up here.
Harrison kicks to Brooks. Pass to Rab. Over Koufos. And it's Rab missing there. The Kings trail by 16. Here's Bielitsa. He dishes it to Fox. The feed now to Randolph. Harrison with the rebound.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
The drive by Brooks. Over to the wing. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
Ooh, he put a little extra on that one.
He does. He doesn't usually finish soft either. Obviously, he can when necessary, but not that time. Now, here's Koufos. He's got 8. Ball's knocked loose. Here's Rab. Passes it to Temple. He kicks to Brooks. Here's Harrison. 6 on the shot clock. Some nice passing there by Memphis. Tries again. Good. He hits the jump shot. Temple's got 10.
And after really leaning on that three-point shot in the first half, seeming like they're just getting away from it here in the second. More of the shots coming from the interior.
Here's Bielitsa. Healed outside. Over Caspy. And he overshot that one, missing.
The defense, not so good. And when you're deep inside like that, you got to come through.
Harrison. Sacramento grabs the miss. There's 18 seconds left in the third quarter. Now, here's Fox. 15 points in the game. And there's the pass to Randolph. Over Caspy. And that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. And so it's Memphis closing out the quarter with a 20-point lead. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. Right back after this break. Now let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Well, there's a way to break down the defense with the handle, but you can do it with the pass. Prime example of that right there.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. The Kings trail by 20 on the floor for Sacramento. Inside, it's Zebo and Cauley Stein. Jackson is out there with Fox, and it's Bagley in at the 3 slot. Now here's Randolph. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Randolph's got the first points up on the board here in the 4th for the Kings. Memphis leading by 18. Here's Temple. Here's Harrison. And it's off from 3-point range. Jackson passes to Bagley. Over Anderson. Bank shot, no good.
And the defense is just not very aggressive. Definitely fortunate that the mid-range jumper did not find the bottom of the net that time.
Pass to Harrison. Pass to Rab. Back to Harrison. Fires for 3. Memphis the rebound. And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. And this is what the schedule looks like coming up for Memphis. On Sunday, they'll face off against Jimmy Butler and the Minnesota Timberwolves. And then on Monday, they'll face off against DeAndre Jordan and the Dallas Mavericks.
And for that game against the Spurs, this is one where it would take a complete meltdown for them not to come away with the win. Anything can happen, but I'd be shocked if they don't come out on top.
Yeah, the reach a factor there for Cauley-Stein. I'd love to see him hit the boards a little bit more often.
Harrison kicks to Anderson. To the paint, and stolen by Cauley-Stein. Here's Jackson. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
That's his first personal foul.
Well, Justin Jackson at 6'8" has a nice skill level and a nice natural feel to the game. He doesn't stop the ball, and he gets his points pretty much in the flow of the offense.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
The first one falls. And Justin Jackson has such an amazing floater, doesn't he?
Well, he does, and he can do it with either hand, which is quite impressive at that size. 6'8", on the left hand and a right hand floater. That in-between game, tough to guard.
The Grizzlies making a switch here. Conley's checked in. And so Jackson nails both of them.
And even though they're down, they are putting on a show at the free throw line.
Conley kicks to Anderson. And he converts the layup.
Well, capable on the interior to score so long. Slow-mo. Anderson not going to pass up a look like that.
Jackson finds Randolph. And here is Cauley-Stein. And here is Fox. Sacramento again missing.
He had a teammate wide open for a better shot. I don't know why he still attempted that with the D right in his face.
Caspi passes to Conley. Back to Caspi. That's in there. Conley with the assist. Conley's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. The Kings trail by 19. Fox kicks to Bagley. Back to Fox. That's tipped. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Anderson.
Kings ball.
Fields checked in for Zach Randolph.
Buddy Hield.
So it's Sacramento now. 19-point game. Just 4 to shoot. Here's Fox. The rebound by Rab. Rab's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Caspi passes to Conley. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a 3-point play.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Well, we know that Dr. James Naismith came up with the idea when he was teaching at the YMCA. But as far as skill development, Brent, Some feel that maybe in the skill category that the USA has fallen behind a little bit. Do you agree?
Mind the lanes.
I think what the United States is doing on that level between your late grade school years and AAU programs in particular and your high school years, that they're trying to address this issue and get ahead of it a little bit. For years, there was a 10-year or 15-year gap about European players being schooled and being in institutions where they were basically young professionals from the age of 12 to 14 having school and basketball and being at a facility for just those things specifically. The last few years, there's been a lot of concern with players being more adept and more skilled here in the States. The change is coming.
Here's Temple after the basket by Willie Cauley-Stein. Fourth quarter of play and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. Here's Conley. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
At the line for your Grizzlies, Michael Conley. 2 shots.
Two shots.
And that one falls for Mike Conley. This is the second year with the sponsored patches on the jersey, advertising more or less. Have you gotten used to seeing those things?
Yeah, I think it was no problem last year.
They're small, they're unintrusive,
some
right?
teams did some really cool creative things with the color schemes, and I don't think we've seen the last of that, Kevin.
We see it in European games on their jerseys.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to recognize the number with how many advertisements are on the jerseys.
Or
but
a billboard.
Yeah, I don't think we're done with it yet.
Down goes basket number 6 for him this game. He's taken 12 shots and made half of them.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Jackson finds Cauley-Stein. And Fox has it in the corner. Lets it fly from 18. That one goes in. Fox has got 9 points now in just the second half.
Fox just found a little bit of space there, and he burned the defense.
Conley, the pass to Rabb. Anderson against Jackson. Outside Conley. With some arc. And he lays it up and in. Conley's got 22.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Now here's Hield. Commissioner Adam Silver has balanced his comments between wanting parity, Brent, and recognizing there are always going to be super teams. Is there middle ground there?
Is there middle ground?
I don't know.
I don't think so. You would like to have some of the teams just be more competitive than they are, but some of the creative, circuitous routes that teams have taken to put themselves into position to get better, younger talent has decimated.
What do you call that?
I don't have a term for it.
Okay.
I don't like the one that's used, so I don't have a term for it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just call it setting yourself up for the future, Kevin.
Looking ahead.
Yes, exactly. So I just don't think you'll ever get it. You do hope that some of the starving franchises do have some success for the fans who have they've had to bear a lot. So you root for them.
To the middle. It's stolen by Hield. Here's Fox. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up.
De'Aaron Fox not backing away that time from the contact, drawing the defense into him. There's an old cliche, Kevin, we've heard or said a million times about speed killing. Well, perhaps no player is more emblematic of that than De'Aaron Fox. End to end, he could be one of the fastest players in the league.
He's off on the first. Well, Fox is a blur in transition. Brent, his speed is a weapon.
Yeah, and he can use it if he has the ball or if he doesn't. Become a slasher and get into the teeth of the defense. Defensively, his lateral quickness and intensity also can make him a pest. It'll be nice to see if he takes some pride on that end of the floor growing up.
Good on the second free throw. Around the world, Brent, we've seen the NBA take a role in helping youngsters learn to play the game of basketball the right way.
So incredible what Basketball Without Borders has done with the NBA junior program expanding itself. Last year in Treviso, for the first time, the NBA doing a combine for EuroLeague players so they can start a database of the older professional, younger professional players playing overseas. It's a global game. Adam Silver is doing a remarkable job of promoting the game, and we're in a great place, Kevin.
And so here's Sacramento. The Grizzlies making the shot. McLemore dishes to Fox, and that one is good. Fox has got 5 points in the quarter.
That's a gorgeous assist. Outstanding at finding his guys in the spots where they want the basketball.
Now Green, back to Carter. Sweet little floater.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
Shumpert with it. And Kyle Anderson gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Some changes for Memphis. Rabs checked in for Marshawn Brooks. Temple comes in for Wayne Selden. And Mike Conley subbed in for Carter. Sacramento also making some changes. Zach Randolph, he's checked in for Labissiere. Jackson comes in for Shumpert. And it's Buddy Hield in for Ben McLemore. Here's Randolph. Outside Jackson. Stolen by Anderson. Conley against Fox. Left side Anderson. Passes it to Rab. Just 5 to shoot. And good that time.
That floater is a thing of beauty, effective when it's used the right way.
For Sacramento, they've gone 6 of 11 since the start of the fourth quarter. Fox kicks to Cauley-Stein. Dishes to Hield. Looking to get it going, and the layup is up and in.
Well, Hield showing some of that stop and start and stop again game, changing directions, impossible to guard.
Here's Rab. Cauley-Stein defending. Right side, Conley. The pass to Temple. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's going to be on Zach Randolph.
Yeah, the defender all over him.
One thing I like about Adam Silver, he is always looking to break new ground, push the envelopes, and develop new areas of innovation.
Well, always forward thinking, and of course this league has always done that. Adam has found a new position in the league, having a chief innovation officer in place, somebody that's always examining not only how things are going in the league and maybe being adaptable to change, but examining what's going on worldwide. And you always see the way the league tinkers with and toys with Summer League and the way the G League competition sets up in order to try to find more ways to make the game more enjoyable or more accessible to the fan base.
And the Kings making a change here. Kufis checked in for Cauley-Stein. Labissiere comes in for Zach Randolph. Bielitsa, he's checked in for Hield. And Yogi Ferrell subbed in for De'Aaron Fox. And here's Ferrell. He'll bring it up for the Sacramento Kings. Kicks it to Labissiere. Back to Ferrell. Over Green. They get it again. A nice shot by Kufis.
How about the perseverance there, the extra effort on that offensive glass?
Anderson outside. Floats one. He lays it in.
And where's the fight defensively? I mean, you know you need stops
to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, down by double digits, failing to shut down the lane. It has been a rough night.
Here's Farrell. The Grizzlies making the shot. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. And Yogi Ferrell, the undrafted Indiana product, went undrafted after staying all 4 years in Bloomington, but he has shown, Greg, to be a very strong player.
Yeah, and Ferrell is the perfect example of why you give a 4-year player a chance. Knows how to make the most of his time on the floor. I think he could start for a team, maybe be the 6th man, lead the second unit, play off the guard. He is just such a versatile player.
And the first one drops. The league and players union, Brent, both have expressed supporting guys who express their views and social concerns. You like that?
Oh, I think it's amazing the way the league has backed some of the avenues with which players have used their voices.
Embraced.
Well, extending well beyond just saying things, Kevin, because we know actions speak louder than words, and there are so many guys around our league that do important philanthropic work. But the fact that the league supports all of those things, the fact that you see Adam Silver show up at some of these events, or that there's press releases from the league office about some of the things guys are doing, there's amazing cohesion when it comes to the league and its players, because they understand that everything that they're doing has such a significant impact in the communities in which they live in and around the game with which we all love.
Well said. Sacramento with the ball, following the score by Memphis. And Labissiere gets it to go. Memphis has gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the 4th quarter. Harrison passes to Green. Harrison kicks to Anderson. Memphis moving it around. Over in the corner, Selden. Fires from the wing. It's rebounded by Labissiere. And for Sacramento, they're shooting it brilliantly here lately. 60% from the field. Outside Jackson. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
And Justin Jackson played his high school basketball at that powerhouse Homeschool Christian Youth Association down there in Texas. He was homeschooled since the 4th grade, and he was in charge of his own studies and his own basketball development. I would say he did pretty well.
That free throw, no good. And by all accounts, Brent, Justin Jackson tremendously focused and diligent both in his studies and in working on his game.
Well, so many teams looking at not only your success on the court, but what you do with your time off of it. And he's demonstrated that he's a self-starter, a self-motivated guy, and that serves him quite well.
And he's good on the second. Tearaway warm-ups have long been a feature of the NBA, but last season the new tearaway jerseys, they just kept ripping apart.
The old uniform malfunction, Kevin, last year. Yeah, maybe
you even had a couple malfunctions, and that was odd.
Well, the tie, bad
tie.
Yeah. I always have bad ties.
You know,
I think they're looking back at the material choices for what they're doing. So maybe there'll be some subtle changes into this year. But it was interesting in the early part of last year. A lot of guys with a finger underneath the arm and pulling away a jersey and ripped away. So maybe the supplier will do something about the fabric this year.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Grizzlies.
And as one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And with this effort tonight, grabbing their 8th win of the year.
And as we get set to put this one to bed, a one-sided season series thus far, they've won 2 straight.
First free throw is good.
And you watch Kyle Henderson out there. They call him slow-mo for how he moves on the court. Just one of those jack-of-all-trades type of players on offense, and wasn't known for his defense, but has put in a lot of work to improve in that area.
Here's what Sacramento's going with right now. Skal Labiciere's checked in for Bagley. Bielitsa comes in for Justin Jackson. And Yogi Ferrell subbed in for Fox.
Tough to match up with Kyle Anderson because of how quirky he plays. Changing speeds, plays slow, but sees the floor remarkably well.
Now here's Labiciere. Pass to Ferrell. And here they come. Here's Harrison. Whistle blows. Bucket is good. And he'll have a chance at the line to make it a three-point play.
And you can tell they're ready to start celebrating a well-deserved victory here tonight.
Yeah, you can see the fans. They've already started celebrating themselves. A gutty performance.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
That free throw good from Harrison. And here's Ferrell. He'll bring it up for Sacramento. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Healed outside. And that one drops for him.
And finally hitting their stride. This is the run they needed earlier.
Well, easier to do once the game is on ice, as your opponent sometimes has a tendency to relax.
Here's Harrison. So no problem for Memphis as they get the win. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
I know their fans appreciated it, and we saw at times just stretches of excellent defense, potency from an offensive standpoint as well. They were pretty much dominant.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Mike. Congrats on the win. It looked like you guys stayed with your identity tonight. You think so?
Yeah, we wanted to just play our game, stick to what we do best, get the ball inside, score in the paint, just try to make easy plays. And I think that's what we did, and we're able to just build off of that.
You guys are one of the best teams at staying to what you do. Congrats on the win. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll wrap it up, folks. So for David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and the whole 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. So long and good night, everyone.
it.